Let me start with what X-Transmetric is. X-Transmetrics is an organization. The vision of X-Transmetrics was AI ability, nothing but a platform which we are launching as a, such a strong as a tank, right? That's why we are saying AI tank. I personally actually do not believe in interviews. I believe in terms of to really get to know each other, right?
Hi, welcome to this podcast series on AI adoption in organization crossing the chasm. Today we have a very special guest with us, Vikas Upal, who is a serial entrepreneur. He has got multiple organizations and communities, X-Transmetrics, AI Tank, profit streams. He is also a close friend of mine and the co-creator of this podcast series. Hi Vikas, welcome to this podcast.
Thanks, Chetan. I think it's a great day where we are starting actually this thing. Not even we are starting, we are inaugurating this whole place which was set up specifically to have thought-provoking discussions associated with that.
Yeah, that makes it really special because glad to be here. So because AI, X-Transmetrics, AI Tank, what is your team doing in these organizations? Tell me something about that.
So let me start with what X-Transmetric is. X-Transmetrics is an organization. The vision of X-Transmetrics was AI ability. Now, what I mean by AI ability, forge AI and perform AI. There will be creators of AI and there will be users of AI, right? And we do work at the both sides. So Forge AI is one of our service where we are helping startups, funded organizations in terms of bringing their ideas, and we do really make it realize to a product at an MVP stage actually. So that's Forge AI. And Perform AI is where we help in terms of tuning, training the systems, help in terms of optimizing, right? So that we have a large team working here in Mangalore and Bangalore towards that front. So AI ability is nothing but which is X-Transmetrics.
So AI for others and AI for self also. Very nice.
It is something like that, Chetan. Yes,
Nice.
that's you right.
And what about AI Tank? Would you like to share something about AI Tank also?
See, since last 30 years, I was part of multiple communities, right? Initially I was part of community in Zurich, Switzerland, where we were, working mainly on the product side of it, strategy side of it. There were like banks like UBS, Credit Suisse, all those were, employees and, all those were there. Then when I moved to US, Canada, at that moment I was part of movement with respect to agility, business agility and product agility, right? Yeah. This is the time when we really need a platform where people will come in terms of talking about what exactly they mean by AI and AI ability. Now, a lot of things, if you see, Chetan, is yet getting new nomenclature, right? 4GI, we have given 4GI, right, altogether. Similarly, we have recently heard about SLM, it has recently came up, right, altogether. So this is a platform where people who all will be learning about AI, creating and curating about AI, they all will join, they all will come, they all will talk to each other. There will be talks, there will be panel discussions, there will be students who will come, there will be people from organizations who will come. So you can assume this is nothing but a platform which we are launching as such a strong as a tank, right? That's why we are saying AI tank.
And the future is yours to create. Yeah.
Exactly right. So all of us know in terms of how fast changes are happening actually, right? Now, since fast changing world, we really need the future is here to create. The people who will come, they will come and create and in fact recreate multiple times. And that's, I think, what is required by future of work.
We'll come back to your team later, Vikas. What keeps you motivated every morning to come to office?
The youngsters who are working with us, definitely right. I'm changing my ways of living, right? uh, the main thing what really helps me specifically coming in the morning is I'm every day doing something new. I'm meeting new people. I'm trying to, collaborate with people. I'm learning. And that learning is something which really keeps me motivated, right?
Youngsters. So
And
when
this,
you hire these youngsters to work on something which has a lot of chatter about it, AI will take the job, will do this, will do that. The use cases are being developed, and I think you're probably one of them who are actually have a use case in working on it with us, right? So what do you look for in youngsters when you hire them?
see, I'll probably give you the first case study which we have done, and I do say them collab one, right? And they are watching this podcast here. See, while in live. When I hired them, and they know that, right? And they might be smiling at this moment, right? They were hired among 300 people. I personally actually do not believe in interviews. I believe in terms of, to really get to know each other, right? So initially we have hired 8 to 10 people last year, right? And those people worked along with us, which means we all were learning each other, right? And that's how we have hired. I would love to continue hiring that, but definitely it is very difficult to hire in scale in that way. I am still thinking how exactly I will change because then we have scaled our hiring altogether. Now, what I am looking
Yeah.
always is an attitude because I strongly feel skill is something which can be learned. I also strongly feel that we are not talking about deep skills at this moment. We are talking about skills at a width level, right? Which could be learned. So I look for ability to learn quick, ability to adapt as quick as possible, as well as attitude towards learning and towards collaboration with multiple people. This is something which, in fact, I used to, watch earlier also. But I think as much as we get into this new era, this is more focused towards my side.
So learning, adaptability, and collaboration.
These are three things. Maybe, one thing which I would like to say, I don't know how successful I am, but I'm very proud of a bigger lot, the value system. Now, what kind of a value system, what kind of a culture you can bring in the organization. And it's not easy to build a new organization without setting up that part. So our value system is, we do not have any hierarchy. uh, since ages, at least from 22 years, people around me are talking about a flat organization, agile, and all those kind of a words, right? Altogether, it's a very agile organization. It's a true agile in living where there is no hierarchy. Hierarchy is there in terms of right ages, in my opinion, but since I am learning from them, there is no hierarchy actually, right, from that standpoint. Secondly, right, there is no manager, right? There is no manager. Of course, we do have a name which we say is more of a catalyst, right? So for every initiative or any mission what we have, right, we do have a catalyst. Catalyst need not to be a senior or a oldie like me. A catalyst is someone who is subject matter expertise. For an example, if you think about 4JI, Jeevan, who is 25 years, is a catalyst who work with youngsters. When we talk about Perform AI, it is Akhilesh. I would also say Samiksha and some of my collab one probably is moving towards Catalyst, right, altogether, right? So we do have a very flat organization where catalysts work with people, right? We really help in terms of each other. So this is kind of a culture we really wanted to bring also, right? I think we are able to do it at this moment. As we are scaling, can we continue doing it? I have yet not sure about that. But the whole effort of Anupam, me, Prasanna, Joshil, who all consider us kind of a founders, right? Uh, is this
Right? And
actually?
let's look at Gen AI. So now we are talking about agentic AI, one step forward, right? And there's a lot of things we hear about it, right? How it's going to change the workforce, how it's going to change the nature of jobs. And you have a first-hand experience working with the team who are actually working with AI. So, what are some challenges which you face, which you would like to share with us?
The youngsters, initial part of them was where everybody has come from colleges now or few years earlier or 3 years earlier, right? They all are actually thinking about that they are end up creating an LLM. They might basically bring a deep seek out of it, right? Altogether, this doesn't happen, right? So of course they getting to know about the truth, to touch a particular system itself is also a part of a system, was not easy, right? But slowly they understood that. When they came from college or when they were transitioning from education system to a work system, sitting for 8 hours was a challenge for them, right?
Yeah.
And which means their muscle was not ready, although they are having more energy and they do have. So I think this is another challenge which we faced. But I can tell you that most of these challenges we were able to overcome at this moment, actually, right? Not because of us, because of this Gen AI, which is not being understood rightly, if I'm correct. Chetan, we all, and I do talk to different, larger organizations, and when we really speak, and I do really hear about that. You know what? These kids, they don't understand us. They don't want to fall in line, and all those kind of things. Now, I really want to ask all of us: should they fall in line, or should we fall in line with them?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something nobody has thought through.
Yeah, and I think the same applies for Gen AI also.
Yes.
How do we look at the Gen AI or agentic AI for that
Exactly.
case,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So that's what's the plan ahead? How does the future look for?
So future looks bright. We are very positive. We do keep getting challenges, right? Because with every new change, we need to keep adapting ourselves. I think this year I do really see 2 to 3 fold of, uh, I would say, increase in our revenue, which means our team size also, which also means more challenges, right? Altogether, we have already started. So our major clientele was in US, right? So now we have started moving towards Middle East. We are also trying to look our Indian customers altogether, whereas definitely, right, decision making takes time, it takes long, right? So a future is amazing, I would say that, right? And from a learning standpoint, I think this would be one of the best year for me for learning.
Super. So, Vikas, to conclude this podcast, what message would you like to give to other entrepreneurs who are getting into, or the leaders who are getting into this field of Gen AI?
I think my simple message to them was, look for anything which is around this end-to-end product of Gen AI, and you can start anywhere actually. It is not that you look for a chat GPT APIs and extend and try to create template products, which I have seen enough. You could look for a lot of other things right around that. Not even you could look a lot of things, you could probably create a service and name it, because still industry is yet to name some of these services altogether. Start there. And very important, look for these youngsters. I think these are those people who could probably adapt, accept, and learn it much faster than a lot of others. And I'm not actually saying a lot of others won't be saying. I might be worried about this podcast after that. I would say rest all need to act as catalyst more, right? Because those catalysts are also required at this moment. But of course, look and make more collaboration efforts from our side, right, towards this Gen Z.
So, a lot of work for tank, AI tank in that case, Vikas.
Yes,
I look
exactly
forward,
right.
right?
So we will initiate that. Let's see how we could multiply it. We'll be basically doing once in a month an event, probably right twice in a month an event. We are starting this Saturday. I'm not worried about how many people are coming or not. This is happening, and we are doing it actually.
Sure. It was lovely talking to you, Vikas, and
Thank you,
getting to
Chetan.
know all this, the journey you've taken, the journey forward. To best of luck to you and X Transmatrix, and thank you.
Thank you.